Hello and welcome to Daily Prelims Practice. Here we take up MCQs based on important articles from the Hindu and the Indian Express newspaper. Topics which we are going to cover today are displayed on your screen. Let's begin the discussion.
So let's begin our discussion with our first question. Question says, recently a draft of the Artificial Intelligence AI Act, which classifies AI technology into 4 risk categories to regulate their use and development, has been passed by which among the following? Now, why we have taken this question? Because UPSC has been asking question based on international laws and regulation. Like this question based on General Data Protection Regulation came in year 2019. So answer of this practice question is option D, European Union, because recently a new draft of the European Union's Artificial Intelligence Act has been agreed upon by the European Parliament. The Act aims to regulate the development and use of AI in the EU and includes provisions for increased transparency, accountability, and obligations for high-risk AI systems. An answer of this PYQ is option C, that is European Union. Now, next question is based on this news article, and context of this news is that India is at risk and vulnerable to the ongoing outbreaks of avian influenza, that is blood flu. Now, as you can see here, UPSC has been asking questions based on aspects related to health. This question based on H1N1 virus came in year 2015. So here we have taken a practice question based on H5N1. So in this question you have to identify the correct statements. So the first statement is H5N1 refers to the disease caused by infection with influenza type A virus. Now avian influenza or bird flu refers to the disease caused by infection with avian influenza type A virus. So with this our first statement is correct. Also, type A viruses are classified based on 2 proteins on their surface. First one is hemagglutinin, which can be referred HA. Second is neuraminidase, which can be referred Na. So several combinations of these 2 proteins are available. For example, H5N1, H7N2, etc. Now let's come to the second statement. Human cases of H5N1 avian influenza occur frequently as it easily transmits from person to person. Now, H5N1 is a type of influenza virus that causes a highly infectious severe respiratory disease in birds. Now, human cases of H5N1 occur occasionally, but it is difficult to transmit the infection from person to person. So almost all cases of H5N1 infection in people have been associated with close contact with infected live or dead birds or H5N1 contaminated environments. So virus does not infect human easily and spread from person to person appears to be unusual. So with this our second statement is incorrect. So here our correct answer is option A, that is one only. Answer of this PYQ is option D. Now our next question is based on this news article, and context of this news article is that IMD, that is India Meteorological Department, on Wednesday said that a cyclone was likely to form in the Bay of Bengal by early next week. So the first cyclone to form this year will be called as Mocha. Now extreme weather phenomena have remained a recurring theme in UPSC Prelims examination. As in year 2020, it has asked a question based on features of cyclone and jet stream. So here we have taken a practice question based on tropical cyclones. So the first statement is eye wall is a region of calm with subsiding air. Now first statement is incorrect. Why? Because eye is a region of calm and subsiding air, whereas around the eye is eye wall where there is a strong spiraling ascent of air to greater heights reaching the tropopause. The wind reaches maximum velocity in this region, reaching as high as 250 km per hour. So with this our first statement is incorrect. Now let's come to the second statement. The storm associated with the cyclone dissipates after reaching the land, mainly because of the absence of the Coriolis force over the land. Now this statement is also incorrect. Why? Because the energy that intensifies the storm comes from the condensation process in the towering cumulonimbus clouds surrounding the center of the storm. So, with continuous supply of water or moisture from the sea, the storm is further strengthened. But on reaching the ground or land, the moisture supply is cut off and the storm dissipates. So, main cause is cutting of the moisture supply and not the absence of Coriolis force. So, both the statements are incorrect. So, our correct answer is option D, neither one nor two. Answer of this PYQ is option C. Now, our next discussion is based on this news article, and this news article is based on World Press Freedom Index. And according to this index, India's ranking has slipped to 161 out of 180 nations. Now, why we have taken this article? Because UPSC has been asking questions based on important index reports, etc. This question based on rule of law index came in year 2018. So here we have taken a practice question based on World Press Freedom Index, and here you have to identify the correct statements. So the first statement is, it is released by global media watchdog Reporters Without Borders. Now this statement is correct. Now let's come to the second statement. In terms of media freedom, India and Sri Lanka have performed better than Pakistan. Now if you can see here, Pakistan has far better when it comes to media freedom, as it was placed at 150, an improvement from last year's 157th rank. See, in 2022, India was ranked at 150 and this year at 160. On the other side, Sri Lanka also made a significant improvement on the index, ranking 135th this year as against 146 in 2022. Norway, Ireland and Denmark occupied the top 3 positions in the press freedom, while Vietnam, China and North Korea constituted the bottom 3. So with this, our second statement is incorrect, as in terms of media freedom, Sri Lanka and Pakistan have performed better than India. So here our correct answer is option A, that is one only. Answer of this PYQ is option D. Now our next question is based on this news article. Context of this news article is that Supreme Court rejected the plea of Babar Khalsa terrorist Balwant Singh Rajona, convicted for assassinating former Punjab Chief Minister Ben Singh, for the commutation of his death sentence to life imprisonment. Though this plea was rejected by the Supreme Court of India, but from the perspective of UPSC examination, pardoning power of President and Governor as enshrined in the Article 72 and 161 respectively holds importance. Also, previously UPSC has been asking questions based on important powers of President and Governor. As in year 2018, it has asked a question based on President's power under Article 356 of the Indian Constitution. So here, we have taken a practice question based on pardoning power of the President. So the first statement is, grant of commutation removes both the sentence and the conviction. Now under Article 72, the pardoning power of the President includes pardon, commutation, remission, respite and reprieve. Now as the given statement best describes, pardon, which completely absolves the convict from all the sentences, punishments and disqualifications, whereas commutation denotes the substitution of one form of punishment for a lighter form. For example, a death sentence may be commuted to rigorous imprisonment. So with this, our first statement is incorrect. Now the second statement is, grant of respite implies reduction of the period of sentence without changing its character. So as the given statement best describes, remission. So grant of remission implies reduction of the period of sentence without changing its character. For example, if one form of punishment is rigorous, it will be rigorous. But for example, it is for 7 years, it can come down to 5 years. But grant of respite denotes awarding a lesser sentence in place of one originally awarded due to some special fact, such as the physical disability of a convict or the pregnancy of a woman offender. So with this, second statement is also incorrect. So here we have to identify incorrect statements. So our answer is option C, both 1 and 2. Lastly, you should remember that grant of Reprieve implies a stay of the execution of a sentence, especially that of death, for a temporary period. Its purpose is to enable the convict to have a time to seek pardon or commutation from the president. An answer of this PYQ is option B. Now, last question is based on this news article, and context of this news article is that Go First approached the NCLT, that is National Company Law Tribunal, on Wednesday and sought the admission of its insolvency plea. It owns creditors rupees 11,463 crore, and Go First is the second major scheduled airline after Jet Airways to seek resolution under insolvency proceedings. Now, UPSC has been asking questions based on important quasi-judicial body, like this question based on NGT, that is National Green Tribunal, came in year 2018. So here we have taken a practice question based on National Company Law Tribunal, that is NCLT. So the first statement is, it is a quasi-judicial body established under Companies Act 1956. The first statement is incorrect. Why? Because it was formed under Companies Act 2013 and it functions under Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So with this, our first statement is incorrect. Second statement is, it has the power to hear and dispose of cases relating to corporate laws such as mergers, acquisitions, and winding up of companies. Now this statement is correct because it has the power to hear and dispose of cases related to corporate laws such as mergers, acquisitions, and winding up of companies. But here you should remember one thing, that resolution process for partnership firms and individuals is adjudicated by Debt Recovery Tribunal and not by NCLT. Also, appeal against the orders of NCLT can be filed with the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, that is NCLAT. Further appeals can be made to the Supreme Court of India. Then NCLT has a fast-track mechanism for companies with a turnover up to 1 CR. Under this mechanism, disputes can be resolved within 90 days. So with this, our correct answer is option B, that is 2 only. Answer of this PYQ is option B.